Hey everyone, it's Ace, welcome back to another video. DICE is moving fast with the UI changes for Battlefield 6. They have completely revamped the Commo system that was being used in Battlefield Labs, and the Chinese website Bilibili has dug up the game's main title name in the code of the game, and so much more in today's video. And if you're new here, I post 2 to 3 Battlefield days a week, and I play every Battlefield game that is still run by EA until Battlefield 6 launches. So if you want to enjoy some good old Battlefield gameplay and just hear what is happening with Battlefield 6, please consider leaving a like, subscription and a comment for future content. The type of commerce that was being used so far in Battlefield Labs was very similar to Battlefield 2042's cube-style system, and many of the Battlefield Labs testers really didn't enjoy that type of system. And I personally think that Battlefield 2042's UI in general is trash, and the commerce is probably one of the biggest offenders. I mean, if you look at it on the screen right now, and let's take the right side of it, and if you were a new player in Battlefield, you have no clue what any of those icons do. They're just a chat box with a symbol in the middle of them. It's not very easy to press them, and you don't understand what they do. They have now changed this to be very similar to the Battlefield 5 style system, cogwheel type of system, where you just cycle around what you want to press, and I think it's very much user-friendlier than the Battlefield 2042 system. And personally, I think this is a great change. If DICE wants to bring new players into Battlefield 6, those new players have to feel connected to their squad, especially if they're playing alone and they're not playing with the team. Those players need to have support, and that support need to be available to them at the tip of their fingertips. The playtest that happened this Friday was only available in Asia, and the Asian players really did not spare EA and DICE with leaks. They have leaked so much gameplay that we basically know everything about the current state of Battlefield Labs. And because all of the Asian players have Battlefield Labs installed on their system, they started data mining into the files of the game. And what they found was that the game is being named Battlefield 6 in the files by the developers themselves. That could suggest that the developers already decided for the main title of the new Battlefield game. And I personally think Battlefield 6 sounds great. It's bold, it's strong, it shows that it's a main title in a very successful franchise. And personally, as a creator, having a shorter title like Battlefield 6 is easier to work with than having something longer like, say, Battlefield Bad Company 3. Because of the before mentioned leaks of the Asian playtest, I noticed a lot of details in the new Battlefield Labs client. The first big one is that vehicles remain on the field when they're destroyed and they act as a cover for infantry. I think this is very cool, and it can provide cover on maps that maybe don't have a lot of cover. For example, let's say you're running from A to B. A to B has no cover, and the only cover on that road or mountainside is a destroyed LV or a tank that somebody blew up like 5 minutes earlier. You can now run to that cover, try to resupply, maybe heal your teammates, and you can all regroup there and then together smoke it up and charge towards Bravo. I think this is a very cool touch, so long as it doesn't really harm performance of the game. If we lose 30 FPS because there's gonna be, I don't know, 5 destroyed tanks or LVs on the field, then maybe it might be a problem. But that, we're gonna have to wait and see how the game is optimized. And since I'm speaking about cover right now, of course I have noticed the immense destruction that is being used in Battlefield Labs right now. And as somebody who has played a lot of Battlefield 5, I know how it feels when there is near total destruction applied in a Battlefield game. And for example, if you take Narvik or Fjell, the maps in Battlefield 5 where there was some cover, those buildings would be leveled nearly to the ground and there was no cover, and then infantry was just getting picked off by tanks camping on the hillside or planes or snipers. But the destruction I was watching on Battery looked okay. It didn't look too much. It was a lot, but it wasn't as much as in Battlefield 5. For example, I saw a clip of somebody blowing up the side of the building with an RPG, but the base structure remained standing, and I think that's a good thing. There's a thin line between destruction being something that really enhances the gameplay and the flow becomes better, and then there is the other side which completely destroys the flow, and then as I said earlier, you're all just picked off by vehicles and snipers camping in the hill. So I really hope they find a correct balance here between destruction and traversing the map. Some hard cover I think is really needed in Battlefield, and we're gonna see when we get closer and closer to the launch version how the final destruction is gonna be shaped up like. Now, a lot of my vehicle viewers who have been subscribed for a while and know me for vehicle gameplay back in Battlefield 4 were concerned about the vehicle physics being present in Battlefield Labs, and by vehicle physics there was none basically for any of the vehicles, land or air. And I'm almost certain that those are placeholders. There is almost no way that those are going to be the final physics of the vehicles. So I cannot reassure you that that's going to be that way, but I don't think it's going to be like that. I mean, the way they are right now is basically like Delta Force vehicles. Weightless, floaty, and just unresponsive. Now, I want to share some information which happened to my channel a while ago. I was struck by EA, who flagged me with their AI system that I'm a leaker of Battlefield Labs and that I was showing gameplay in my videos, which you guys, as my viewers know, that wasn't true. I never showcased any gameplay of Battlefield 6 in any shape or form, and I have now successfully defeated EA's strike, and my copyright counterclaim was accepted by YouTube. Basically, the way it went down is I received a strike on the first major leaks that happened of Capstone like 2 or 3 weeks ago at this point. Me and other creators, and I'll get into this in a moment, have received a strike on the exact same day. When I opened the strike in my email, I noticed that EA has hired a third-party company who was flagging all videos that had Battlefield 6 in their title or something related to the leaks, even if you weren't showcasing any leaks. I believe I was the first person to be struck, and this is why I haven't made a video, and as a smaller creator, it was the first time ever I was dealing with a, major legal issue on my channel for something I have never done. After that, I contacted a friend who is a lawyer who told me what I was doing and if I wasn't showcasing any gameplay of the game and I was using something which was a part of a public domain, which is basically what it was. It was just screenshots and hearsay guys from Reddit and Telegram. I haven't showcased 1 second of gameplay. He told me that technically EA should not act on this and that they're in the wrong, though they could of course strike my videos down just by showcasing Battlefield 1 gameplay right now because it's their game and they would be like, hey, we don't like this guy, he's showcasing our game, get him out of here. But that wasn't the case. Then, Ghost Gaming, a fellow creator, I'm sure you guys know him, you're all subscribed to him, also uploaded a video where he was saying that he was also struck down. After that, I reached out to Ghost Gaming and I told him that I was also struck down and I shared with him the details of the content notification I have filed against EA and YouTube has accepted it and forwarded it to them, and basically at that point, they had 10 business days to either sue me or the strike drops. That expired today. YouTube has now removed all the strikes that EA has put on my channel. Well, all the strikes, it was just 1 strike, but they removed it and I have basically defeated EA in that case, and I'm pretty sure Ghost Gaming is gonna defeat them as well. So I just want to keep real with you guys and transparent of what is happening in the YouTube scene of Battlefield 6. So this is what we had to deal with over the past couple of weeks. So now that this is behind me and I can finally talk about it, if you're a creator and you have problems with copyright strikes regarding this Battlefield 6 leaks and whatever, just reach out to me on Twitter DMs. I'm gonna try to help you as much as I can so you can try and beat your case as well. Going back to the topic of Battlefield 6, I have to say it is very nice that they've already acted on the Commo thing. The UI has been, so far for me, not very good in Battlefield 6. I understand it's a placeholder, but I wanted to see some changes, and now, only a couple of tests after, they've already changed a major part of the UI, which is of course the Commo. So I really hope they keep up at this pace, changing things very quickly, rather than slowly. Let me know in the comment section, how do you feel about the Commo changes? Is it something that doesn't affect you at all because you're a veteran player and you don't even use the Commo very often, and or you play with a squad and since you're all on Discord you don't really use the Commo or whatever? Let me know and then maybe I even make a poll about it and we can talk about it in some other video. With that being said guys, I'm gonna slowly close this video down. Thank you so much for watching. If you're a regular sub, please leave a like and a comment for the algo. I really appreciate you being here every day as I upload. And for my newer viewers, if you're new here, as I said earlier, I play a lot of Battlefield, I post a lot of Battlefield content and everything related to Battlefield 6. So please consider subscribing so you have some future content. With that being said guys, I'll see you next time. Have a great day. Bye bye.